In the meantime, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the conflict between Israel and Hamas in the Middle East had taken focus away from the war in Ukraine. Zelensky made this known during a press conference with European Union Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen. Ms. von der Leyen is visiting Kyiv ahead of a report the European Union is expected to present next week about Ukraine's progress in its membership bid.
Війна на Близькому Сході, цей конфлікт і забирає фокус. Я вважаю, що це одна із цілей Російської Федерації. Була, розуміючи, що фокус з України буде, скажімо так, фокус на Україну.
I'm now joined by Segun, a strategic analyst and global affairs commentator, to discuss this further. Thank you very much for joining us. How do you think the ongoing conflict in Gaza has impacted the international community's attention and response to other global conflicts, such as the war in Ukraine?
Thank you for inviting me. The recent development in Gaza-Israeli conflict are actually taking a shine away from most of the conflict around the globe. And the world attention now, particularly because of the humanitarian crisis that have developed out of this conflict, the world attention is now on Israeli Hamas, and rightfully so too, because considering the number of casualties that have been recorded on the part of the Palestinians, not neglecting the fact that the causative issues which arises from the killing of the Israelis by the Hamas group, about 1,400 of them, which provoked this war, is equally very condemnable. So that in itself has focused the attention of the world, taking the shine away from what we have previously been paying much attention to, which is the Ukraine-Russian war and several other conflicts around the globe. So rightfully so too, the world attention is on Hamas-Israelis case.
Ukraine's president is already expressing concerns about the attention deficit as a result of the war. In what ways do you think the situation in Gaza will influence the dynamics and diplomatic efforts surrounding Ukraine's membership bid in the EU?
I don't think there will be a quick leverage to return attention to the Ukraine-Russia's conflict at the moment. The world attention will still be in the next few weeks, if not months, on Hamas-Israeli issue. Ukraine, part of what it has put forward was a membership of the European Union. And recently, which is, I think, 2 days ago, Ursula von der Leyen, who is the president of the European Union, visited Ukraine, Kyiv particularly, and had a discussion reminding or bringing to the attention of President Zelensky that by next week, the progress will be reviewed on membership of Ukraine. The president, Zelensky, now used the opportunity to call the attention of European Union that the waning attention being given to this war that is prosecuted by Russia and their territory. However, there is a limit to which that will actually influence the development in the EU. Even in United States, we recently saw what after the election of the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives and the actual passage of the financial package for the government, so that the government does not go out of funding. That reduces extremely what is committed to, what United States will be committing to the war in Ukraine, Russia, debacle. So that means, as not only at EU, even at United States, though it has not been concurrent with the Senate, and they hope it might have difficulty passing there, which the presidency equally has proclaimed they're likely going to veto. In coming days, we'll see how that pan out. But it is critical for us to expect that there will be a winning on the attention given to the Ukraine-Russian war.
I mean, a lot to deal with at the same time. One
Yes.
would, understand if there is some disparity due to the urgency, it seems, of the war in uh, Israel and Hamas. Are there any potential parallels or lessons that can be drawn from the international response to both the conflict in Gaza and the war in Ukraine? And do you think there can be equal attention at any point in trying to address both conflict?
I don't think there will be an equal attention. I think the issue of the Israeli conflict is actually uppermost in those who call the shot. That's the European Union, the United States, United Kingdom, and most of their allies, which is Australia, Canada, and all that. Their attention right at the moment is actually focused on it because Israel is a long-abiding ally of this group. And we cannot discountenance their formidability within the territory of the United Nations and the strength and power of their commitment. Recently, even von der Leyen did mention about their commitment to increase the humanitarian support for Gaza. The issue at the moment is not even how much package of humanitarian aid or support that will go to Gaza. The issue at the moment is the Israelis' refusal to even let those packages or aids get into Gaza. So even if you raise $1 trillion worth of packages and it's not getting to the people, of what use? Then we should have a placement of what the focus of attentions are. That's why Blinken is John Kenton around the globe, try to secure, even having constant negotiation with Israel's prime minister. Israeli prime minister have taken out of the table the issues of ceasefire. In fact, parallel, putting it side by side, that mentioning ceasefire is support for Hamas. That means if you're going to discuss ceasefire with us, you're simply saying Hamas is good as
I mean, the time frame for this bulletin will not give us enough time to actually discuss the complications of that war. But quickly, if you can, in about a minute, what do you think are the potential implications of these international communities, let's say, divided attention between the conflict in Gaza and the war in Ukraine?
I think it is how to manage the explosiveness of the situation. We do not want a situation where it snowballed into the whole of the region. And that's why the United States is stepping up its diplomatic move to make sure that tempers are cooled and issues are put in proper perspective so that people will understand what actions needs to be taken, what needs to be refreshed, what needs to be reviewed. So that it does, because at the moment there is a feeling that Hezbollah, which is a proxy of Iran, could get in the fray, and any other country within the region. This is the limiting factor that the United States is trying to combat.
Thank you very much, Segun, for giving us your time. We do appreciate it. And I'm definitely coming back for you for a more extensive conversation in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And thank you, viewers, for listening to us.